Hey everybody, my name is Tyler Lamb. This is Movie Versus Prequel to episode 32. We just discussed this and I already forgot. But 32 prequel
wouldn't
episode.
be a prequel episode if it wasn't Tyler not sure what episode it was.
And in that voice is Steve Janik, my co-host. Steve, how's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good.
That is good. And then my other co-host to my right here, Charlie Pixley. What's up, Chuck?
It's all right.
It's all right.
Got him.
Don't nobody worry about him.
Never. I think the last podcast episode you made the same kind of joke.
It's hard not to when Caddyshack has been around.
That is true. So on this episode, it is a prequel, so we will be assigned the movies. No special guest this time. So we're going back to the normal rotation where we left off, which would leave Steve being the one who is going to assign the movies. Also on this episode, we're just going to kind of bring up, I think we're going to talk about Wonder Woman a little bit. I know, Charlie, you were on the Three Wise Radio podcast episode where they're gonna, I'm assuming you guys discussed it in full.
Yeah, they did a mini episode
I
for
think
it,
that,
like for Guardians, a full-on mini review.
A spoiler and a non-spoiler?
Yeah, the mini episode is full-on spoiler from the get-go, and then we lightly touched on it in the full cast.
I got you. We'll
went over history.
We'll talk about it a little bit. I don't want to go into too heavy of spoilers. You can listen. They'll cover that stuff better in depth and all that. Also, just kind of other movies we've seen, stuff we actually like, all that stuff. Typical prequel episode fare.
We're not going to stray from it at all.
Oh, yeah. Never. We're going to stay on track. You know us, and that's what we do. So Steve,
you can count on
track
it,
boys,
till the day we die. I mean, that's why we call this the Trap House. Or
wait,
no,
what?
I'm sorry, Track House. It's the Track House, not the Trap House. Definitely don't knock on my door, CIA. The FBI. Why would the CIA investigate a drug house? Is that a?
I don't know, man.
I guess it would be me who would know.
Hopefully. We've sent in our top-level agent from the Department of Agriculture.
No, it's the ATF. Not that I know or I'm here to infiltrate.
ATF, what does that stand for?
Alcohol, tobacco, firearms.
My God. That doesn't even sound like a department. That just sounds like a
Party.
store.
Oh.
Or a party. Okay, Steve, let's stay on track. We always do.
So,
what movies are you assigning us?
I was thinking about coming in with some dual options, but then I decided that there was one set of movies that I think we really need to do this week.
Give us the shittiest pairs first. Like
the shittiest
the ones you came up
with.
Let's
give us the ones that you and so how the Spartans threw aside their deformed babies. Which groups of movies did you throw off of the hill because they weren't strong enough?
Well, my neighbors do that too.
Well, I thought it was the normal practice.
Well, technically, one of my sets actually gets better as of 2 weekends from now. So that one I kind of left open in case one of you guys wants to totally destroy us later.
I'm guessing
and the original thought was crappy summer comedies that are doing poorly. So Baywatch and Snatched.
Oh yeah,
and
that's almost done.
Charlie would have had to see Snatched.
No. So, but I left it open because on June 16th, Rough Night comes out, and you could put Snatched and Rough Night together.
The fuck is Rough Night?
Is
it about a dog and his night that is unfortunate?
It's Hangover,
and his RUF?
minus the penises.
Well, no,
it's
it's Hangover, but they killed the stripper.
Yeah, that part does make it interesting. I wish they wouldn't reveal it in the trailer though. I think it would have been really funny otherwise.
I wish it was spelled RUFF and about a dog that just nothing's going right for him, or people who own a dog and the dog is just such a little scamp, and or a guy who's dog sitting a dog who's just such a
or it's just Turner and Hooch.
And the tagline is "You're gonna like it rough."
Oh God, why? So that was the first set that I had, and then the other one, the other set I was getting ready to try and flesh out, but it started with Everything, which was not doing well, and then I was trying to find something a little bit more serious to pair with it, but I just decided to go with my gut and do this pair because I figured this was the one that I wanted to hear about, and you guys at least won't hate it.
So not Snatched.
Not Snatched.
Oh, thank God.
So for Tyler, and you guys both might have a little difficulties with this week, but it shouldn't be too bad. Tyler, yours is King Arthur.
I want to see that for real.
The Legend of the Sword?
Legend of the Sword.
What Steve's like, Tyler, you get War for the Planet of the Apes. Like, oh, shucks.
Tyler, you get the Godfather too.
And Charlie, you get, and it doesn't come out until Friday, The Mummy.
This is
I want to see both.
Yeah,
these
this
movies.
is a toss up though because you are assuming at the recording of this podcast. The Mummy.
I already saw things. It was like 30 something.
Oh, it is. Is the embargo lifted?
As far as
okay.
I thought I saw
I wonder
it.
how many reviews are in already.
Yeah, because when I think I saw this morning, reviews had not been posted yet. You guys can
double check. I'm pretty sure I thought I saw some. Now I'm like
getting ready for this dark universe.
Currently, there is no score yet.
Balls. I really thought I saw scores.
Do you want to throw up a contingency movie just in case?
Oh my! I don't even.
Can I just also see King Arthur?
Does he has? Oh, you already saw it. Never mind. I was gonna say Pirates.
I know. I definitely would. It was going to be King Arthur Pirates. Had
that
it
would
not.
have been
all right. So I see King Arthur, and Charlie sees Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Jesus, King Arthur's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, no, I mean this is.
I mean, we can risk it.
I mean,
I would say
contingency, and this is bad because it's kind of fucked up. No,
Fuck you.
I was gonna say Baywatch.
Okay, I feel like that's different though.
Yeah, but I feel like it's still a pretty decent mashup because they both look fun.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Like they don't.
And
I don't think
Baywatch
either of them are. I don't.
Fun,
I honestly
check
don't
your
think,
brain at the door.
Yeah, I don't think
movies.
either of them are meant to be taken seriously.
No.
So I would say that's a good contingency.
I still think I'm almost positive Mummy's gonna make it. I mean,
if you want to, we could maybe just double feature these.
Oh, of course. Whether it's Baywatch or Mummy, I will go.
When I was thinking about like what I was gonna do, and after like the whole Joe situation, I was like as these movies were coming out, I was like, I can't see any movies because I need them. I need them to give them to Charlie and Tyler.
You're on summer break now, so you're like rolling around in your bed like I can't see.
I know. I'm very upset at all times.
That explains all the holes in your wall. I guess you punched them.
Yeah,
is that
he has restless eyes syndrome?
I have restless fists syndrome.
He needs to watch something, and I mean you can only watch The Boy Next Door, and then also The Boy Next Door completely blacked out with just the subtitles and audio so many times.
No, you cannot.
I don't know why. I don't know why you would do it with the audio and the subtitles.
Well, sometimes to help.
I do that actually because I do that a lot actually because movies have like a shitty time balancing their audio, so I'm fine like lowering it a little bit.
Yeah.
So that like that way when the action goes crazy and you can't hear
it all depends
anymore, you can still read what's happening.
It all depends on the TV, I think. If it's just a regular ass TV, then the audio is probably going to be shit. Depending on what you have hooked up to it, or if you're because ours TV here it does that too. Like if I'm watching something on Apple TV, I have it turned up to like fucking 80 to try to like hear it, and sometimes I'll just be like fuck it, subtitles.
I was gonna say then to help him fall asleep eventually, he just puts on his vinyl of Hybrid Theory and watches it in circles and circles and circles till he passes out.
I was gonna say he just and he can tell by the grooves in the vinyl what song is playing.
I don't listen to it anymore. I instead of a needle, I just use my eyes.
You just braille it like everything you say to me.
I really can't feel you there. Wait, isn't that song from the one after Hybrid Theory?
What song?
One step closer to the edge, and I'm about to.
No, I'm pretty sure that's on Hybrid Theory.
I don't know. You
that's
would know,
cut,
Steve,
isn't it?
Yes.
I know.
Oh God, the illusion's breaking.
I know the paper cut. Jay-Z. I don't know what he does it
on
with.
the Grey album.
Pimpin', Big Pimpin'.
Yeah.
Dude, those mashups are sweet.
I
really are.
actually used to listen to that CD
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, it's still fucking sweet to me.
It's probably because a lot of those Jay-Z beats are just like really fucking good. So it doesn't really matter what goes to it. It's like, this beat's dope as fuck.
Correct.
So we're gonna watch the trailer for Baywatch and The Mummy and King Arthur.
All at the same damn time.
Yeah.
We got 3 computers pulled up.
Why would we need three computers?
No, we overlay the videos.
I don't know. I like the idea of 3 monitors.
I like the idea of 3 overlaid videos.
My computer hears the TV in the living room, and
we'll watch them in a round. We can only watch the first 15 seconds of each, and then we trade off.
That's my tribute to the Mummy.
Oh, okay, that was your Tom. Wait, are you being attacked by rats, or are you crashing in a plane?
Doesn't matter.
All right. Well,
or are you shooting?
It's a drag and drop situation.
I thought you were just shooting randomly into ancient artifacts.
Yeah.
What's a drag and drop?
A drag and
Drag
drop.
and
The audio.
Oh, drag and drop. Okay,
Although
I
if
thought
a-
it was a
if a-
dragon drop,
if
which
a
would have been
dragon
dope.
were
If
to
a
drop
dragon-
it.
Wait, there's a mummy dragon?
If a dragon were to drop it, he would also go.
while he breathes fire,
Yes.
or is he doing it
No,
while
I mean
he
Tom
drops it?
Cruise.
No, while Tom
getting
Cruise
dropped.
is breathing the fire.
Wait, he's breathing fire while being dropped by a dragon.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And he's going,
I mean, that's why he's screaming so much. His throat's sore.
fair enough, he just had a bunch of fireball.
So then he pulls a flash and he's falling by the side of a building. He just starts running and he's able to then just hit that 90-degree angle at the bottom.
He had a shot of fireball and then burped. So it was just fire.
Fireball.
All right, well, let's watch these trailers. And people, for some reason, love Brendan Fraser, even though he has a stupid fucking face and he's not even a good actor.
I like Brendan Fraser.
I know.
I do like Mummy 1 and 2.
People like Brendan Fraser.
I
for some
really like
reason.
Mummy 1. And I don't know. I think the only reason I don't have like a problem with the fact that they're doing this. I just think
Who would
it's
you
not
have?
going to be as good.
Who would you choose?
For what?
Brendan Fraser or The Rock?
For what?
Just who would you choose?
Well, The Rock's the default, but it would depend on the situation.
Honestly, back like before.
If you were making a movie and you had the choice between Brendan Fraser and The Rock,
Well, now The Rock.
perfect. That's why he was in Journey to the Center 2, and Brendan Fraser was not.
I mean, I know. I like Brendan Fraser, but he made a series of just terrible career decisions.
Apparently, he's going to be in some FX show now.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
everybody-
And
and
I'm-
the
in the
internet's
Mummy
like fucking
universe,
going
though.
insane.
Brendan Fraser is better than The Rock.
He introduces The Rock.
Yeah,
He does.
Well, the Scorpion King movie is.
And the first time the Scorpion King comes out is real bad.
It's one of the worst.
And then the Scorpion King
visual
movie.
effects ever.
Yeah, one of the Scorpion King movie is.
But it's
is
okay
bad.
because they replaced him with what, Chuck Liddell in the next one, or was it Randy Couture?
I think it might have been Randy Couture. It was
Probably both the next two.
I was
Actually,
about to
it might
say-
have been Chuck Liddell and then Randy Couture.
Yeah, it's probably one
Nothing
of
like
those two.
the Iceman in the fucking desert.
Which one is in Marine 2?
I don't know.
Probably Chuck Liddell. Did he have a mustache?
Randy Orton's in one of them. And then
Okay.
it's somebody else.
Apparently, there's like a Marine 5.
Probably.
Is it all the way up to 5? I thought it was up to 4.
I could have sworn I saw like a picture for Marine 5 somewhere.
I don't know. I have another idea for a movie thing we could do in the future, but that doesn't
Marine
matter.
versus 12 rounds.
Yeah, Marine versus 12 rounds.
Man, we got
so-
another tie.
X versus Sever.
Marine
the
is
same.
clearly better.
X versus Sever and Natural Born
Ballistic.
Killers.
So we just watched all those trailers. We watched 3 of them. We watched Baywatch as well because it's the contingency just in case.
I
Sure.
do still maintain that hopefully the Mummy doesn't make it because I do think that King Arthur and the Mummy will be a good matchup. I think it'll be just a good episode all
Yeah,
the way around.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I think the Mummy looks like it's taking itself a little bit too seriously.
I
but
agree.
Honestly, I also I kind of have hopes for the Mummy.
Yeah.
Like I think that it kind of will not be as bad as people think it's going to be.
A shared monster universe would be sweet.
It would be, and honestly, there's nothing about the trailer that I think is like stupid other than his scream.
I still think him shooting that fucking chain in the it wasn't in that one. Like in one of the trailers, like when they go into the thing, like there's like chains all set up, and he just shoots one off. She's like, it's a prison, and he's just like, boom, and I'm like, you don't do that at an archaeological dig site.
You usually don't even have a gun.
The one thing in the other trailer that we did not watch that I don't like is they're in this like firefight in the desert, and then all of a sudden there's a sinkhole, and the tomb is revealed, and I guess everybody stops fighting one another.
Higher causes, dude.
Like because they're just like, oh, we're gonna die. Oh, look at this. Let's explore.
We gotta respect the artifacts.
It belongs in a museum.
It's like, wait, what just happened to the people that were trying to kill you?
There's a scene that's goofy in some of the Mummy trailers, though, when I don't remember her name yet. It's like whatever her Egyptian name is. When she's hung upside down, and they show her scurry up the chain, and you see her legs like upwards. Pay attention to it next time. It's quite funny because her feet aren't even close to touching the chain, so she just kind of like pumps her legs and her body like wiggles up.
I think that scurrying, a human scurrying, no matter what, is funny.
Yeah, and especially when her arms are tied up, so she's just like.
Oh yeah, that's real funny. Does she use her boobs to grab the the top or something?
No, her butt cheeks.
Her legs and her butt cheeks.
Yes,
it's leg day.
I
don't know how you guys.
I know that's like a horror movie trope for like a little kid to get possessed and fucking scurry up to you, and that shit does not. That's just stupid looking. Like especially if they're like leaned back, like crab crawl, like
and they go
and they go and like nah.
Did you just use like the Christina Aguilera thing from South Park?
Did I? I don't know.
It's from the episode where they're all like taking Ritalin, and Cartman sees like these little pink Christina Aguilera monsters.
Sounds very attractive.
Sounds par for the course.
The only thing to make Christina Aguilera any more attractive is to make her pink,
smaller, and more of a monster.
Yeah, a monster in the sense that she does not. She is ruthless on The Voice.
I don't think she's on The Voice anymore.
Is she not?
No, I think she was replaced by Gwen Stefani.
Yeah,
really.
Like
that's an upgrade though to me.
Years ago, because Gwen Stefani broke up Blake Shelton and his wife,
and she also broke up No Doubt. And there's no doubt about her breaking up.
I think they got back together.
They have. She's just doing more solo stuff again. Yeah. And the other guys in No Doubt are like, yeah, well, us too.
You just call us when you're done.
All I know is that all the guys
we'll
are the girls
here.
from the back.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say that like all of the guys in No Doubt have dated Gwen Stefani and have produced all of the breakup songs.
No, stop saying that stuff. She's had it up to here with that. It's another
spider web.
No, she only dated the one member of the band. I'm not here to like ruin Gwen Stefani's name.
Yeah,
she's
dude, we're gonna get so many letters.
We were just talking about this when I was up in Chicago this last
about
weekend.
Gwen Stefani?
No,
doubt.
about Xenon, that movie,
The Warrior Princess.
No, Xenon, the girl of the 21st century.
Yes, and how the Protozoa,
starring Kirsten Storms. Oh man, pulled that name from
Protozoa or whatever the band is. That lead singer, I always thought he was the
guitarist from No Doubt.
Yes, they look so like
I know
the same
exactly.
person.
Well, and it doesn't help that he had like that bleached hair.
Well, that's why, because they have like the really dark eyes and lighter skin, and then for some reason it's not like they're wearing mascara, but they just have really kind of sunken dark eyes and then white bleached pointed hair. So I always thought
it was very 90s punk.
I always thought they really did like get him for a while.
You know what they should have done
in that movie? I could see them doing that.
So you know what the guitarist from No Doubt should have done to separate himself from the pack is wear contacts that white out his eyes.
I don't know why for some reason I thought you were gonna be like, he should have just killed himself.
That probably not the answer.
No, and also he wouldn't have separated himself from the back because the guitarist from Limp Bizkit or the bass player had his eyes like whited out.
No,
they were blacked out.
Blacked out.
Oh, that's right.
Way creepier.
Oh God!
Eyes.
We're all making emotions like this is a visual medium.
Should have seen me scurrying.
It's hard. It's hard not to make those motions when you talk about the guitarist from Limp Bizkit.
I think he might be the bass player. Nobody knows his name. The thing is, I'm gonna think Buckethead maybe. Oh wait, no, that was the guy that filled in for Guns N' Roses for the VMAs.
Wait, Buckethead filled in for Guns N' Roses. In the VMAs?
Or it might have been like
year?
the MTV Music Awards.
No.
Oh, it was a while back. It was when Axl
Rose
had he had cornrows,
and he ran out of breath during.
I'm doing the Axl Rose snake dance. If anybody's wondering, and Buckethead's. I mean, and the thing is, Buckethead does the same exact motion towards cameras. But he's also wearing a mask.
Yeah, but he's Buckethead, so he can do whatever.
KFC Buckethead.
He can do whatever he wants because he's Buckethead.
So do we think that he eats a bucket of KFC chicken every time before he performs? Or does he...
I like to think he just throws it away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He throws away what he's wearing, and then before he performs, he eats another bucket of KFC chicken and puts it on his head. Or also, does he record like that?
I would like
Probably.
to...
I think...
I would like to think that
authentic.
it was a fresh one. Like, he just like went to KFC and was like, "Can I get one bucket, please?"
No, he comes...
And they're like, "Why?" He's like, "No reason."
He comes in with his mask on and just says, "Give me a bucket."
He's bald and the top of his head is just acne.
No, what probably happened was he just picked up a bucket from his day job before leaving.
Well, I hear that he like comes out with
Wrecked.
Yeah, that was added air horns into that fucking.
The best was how long it took you guys to like.
I heard you. I was just drinking.
Yeah, and I was too busy moving on to what I wanted to say to process what you said.
So like usual.
So apparently he like comes out with music.
Not like usual.
He comes out with music all the fucking time. So I just like to think that he has his own home studio, and every time before he steps in the studio to record a new guitar track, he puts on that mask and that bucket, and I guess that yellow jacket. Is that?
Yeah, it's like
I don't know.
raincoat
like,
or whatever.
In my head, that's how he
That's
looks. Like it's
he
just is embracing it. No, he was born that way, and he was like, well, I got to make this work.
So he painted on the KFC.
No, that's how he was. He was born with the KFC portion as well. His father was a bucket of chicken.
Colonel Sanders, you mean?
Man,
I did not.
I hope that he gets some residuals from KFC just because he was born with their bucket on his head. That's some coincidence. So did the bucket grow with his head?
Of course the bucket grew with his head.
Okay,
He just couldn't see for like the first 20 years of his life.
It's not a bucket in this situation. It's actually just his head that is patterned as if it's a KFC bucket.
This is like the cone heads.
Yes,
but bucket.
But with bucket, it's bucket heads.
Well, and Steve said, or was it you that said that if he painted it on,
yeah,
how gross would that look if he washed it off? You just see like a skin, like ridge, and then a skin bucket. That's disgusting.
No, it's exactly like Coneheads, and he just found a way to make it work in polite society,
except for in the movies.
And that would mean also that he painted on his face mask, so he would have like a flesh mask over his normal face.
Well, I'm assuming it's like the movie The Boy, where he has the mask because he has a deformed face, and he hides in the walls and makes his parents think that.
For some reason, I was thinking you were talking about Mask, and I was like, "Damn, dude." Fuck.
No, I'm talking about the horror movie The Boy, where the babysitter has to take care of the porcelain doll, but then she finds out it's really like a dude in the walls who's like, "Ma, like I'm a fucking fat ass."
I did not see that movie.
Nobody did.
You clearly did.
I worked at a movie theater and I wanted to see the ending. I was like, okay. I was like, so what's the deal with this doll?
Wait, so how much did you just watch the end, or did you watch all?
I watched I may have watched like 5 to 10 minutes of it.
And it was watched like the last hour and a half.
it was enough to see
of a 1 hour and 20 minute film.
I walked in at the end because it was one of those where like I was usher, and you are like, sometimes there are gaps between where you need to clean, and there was a gap, and the movie was still going on, but I was like, I want to know kind of what, I might as well watch the last bit of this movie. And I walked in, and it was like maybe 5 or 10 minutes till the end, and I saw like some dude in a mask chasing around the couple, and I was like, oh, so I guess he was the boy the whole time.
Yep.
And yeah, then it was, because I think I saw earlier in the movie some other time, and I was like, oh, okay, yep. And he's like, Oh, I don't know. It's dumb. Anyway, Buckethead. That's what we're talking about, right?
Back to the important things.
No, so we watched those trailers, and we didn't even talk about King Arthur.
So download Chinese Democracy.
Yeah. The Guns N' Roses #1 rated album definitely lived up to the 17-year hype.
I mean, I have nothing to add to that statement.
And if you're in St. Louis, definitely love Guns N' Roses.
Wait, do St. Louis people are they from St. Louis?
No, they haven't toured in St. Louis for fuck.
I mean, that was when
I think
it was probably 91.
Oh,
I think
it was?
Like
It was 91?
maybe.
Okay, never mind.
92,
Yeah.
93.
But I mean,
It started a
somebody.
riot.
Oh yeah, it was
Oh.
because somebody had a camera,
Yeah.
and Axl Rose was like, stopped the concert and was like, "Hey, get that guy who's got the camera."
He gave the security guard 3 seconds to do it. It's like, stop that guy. I'll do it. And then takes his jacket. Or no, he keeps the jacket on and just dives into the crowd and starts fighting this guy.
And then I think they just fucking left because they were like, "No, you guys are fucking got cameras," and they left the concert. And then a riot happens, and I think Guns N' Roses got charged for inciting a riot.
Yeah.
And since then they have not.
And it was the 90s, so it was a full camcorder.
Yeah, it would have been a shitty ass picture anyway.
Yeah.
And then in their next album, because it's the only Guns N' Roses album my dad ever bought because of this. In the liner notes, it's like thanks to this place, thanks to this. It just says fuck St. Louis.
It says fuck. And then they're coming here this year,
And I got tickets.
yeah, people are like,
in case there's a riot.
Well, and because I also like their singles are.
no, I'm
awesome,
saying,
though,
I'm
too.
saying,
their singles are pretty good.
I'm saying this time everybody hold up their fucking camera phone and just record.
Oh yeah. No, don't even record. Just download a
And
strobe
then-
light app.
And then when he comes into the crowd, he's like, "I'm gonna take you to Paradise City."
Oh, I mean, and this isn't me sounding macho or anything, but if you've seen Axl Rose lately, I'm fairly confident I can beat his ass.
I mean, he's old.
yes, old and very out of shape.
What if he has Buckethead on his
Oh,
side?
well then I'm not coming near that guy because I feel like he could just hold up his hand and shoot like an energy beam out and kill me.
I think that his sweet guitar licks would take you down. Oh no!
Well, they'd make my knees buckle.
Yeah,
with pleasure.
you'd be immobilized. You would have to bang your head
The riffs
against the ground.
it's too shredded.
So King Arthur trailer. We haven't even got that far. King Arthur trailer looks like a Guy Ritchie movie.
It looks like Lord of the Rings, Guy Ritchie-ized, and more fun, I guess. Not that Lord of the Rings wasn't fun. Love those
more
movies,
active.
but no, but just
more
fun, goofy, I guess.
Yeah, I see.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Imagine seeing Gimli doing those punches shirtless. It's
No, it would totally be Legolas with his elven eyes that would do those punches.
could be.
I might have mentioned this
Aragorn?
before. I might have mentioned this before, but I always one of my roommates in the past, one time we were watching Lord of the Rings. I think it's in the Two Towers where Aragorn says, "Legolas, what do you see with your elven eyes?" And he just said, "Man, what if Legolas just his eyes aren't any more special because they're elven? What if he's just same thing as you, dude? We've been over this. Stop saying that."
I just like being specific.
And that's the story of how we realized that Aragorn's kind of racist.
But yeah, I mean, it was a fun. It looks like a fun movie. Man, I can't imagine it being too serious, even though it has the Hulk in it.
Yeah.
Which,
Wait, which Hulk? Eric Bana Hulk? Okay.
the only good Hulk.
Let's not. Okay.
Dude, and it has half of Gattaca in it. That movie's sweet, though.
The Gattaca is sweet.
I know.
I've never seen Gattaca.
It's Jude Law and Ethan Hawke, and it's pretty sweet.
I mean, we got a young Pope, we got a Son of Anarchy, we got the Incredible Hulk, and we got the guy who doesn't remember Star-Lord's name or know
Sure.
who Star-Lord
Wasn't
is.
wasn't that the guy from
Chewie
Blood Diamond?
Taylor.
What's that?
Isn't that the guy from Blood Diamond?
He was the Blood Diamond. He played Blood Diamond. Is that what he said?
No, the
Oh.
guy from Blood
I
Diamond
thought the first time you said the guy who played Blood Diamond.
did not
I'm just
did not
imagining
say that.
Leo DiCaprio holding this guy. So other than that, I mean, do we have anything else to say about these movies?
Did we say anything about Baywatch?
Yeah, we talked about it, didn't we?
I don't know.
Well, we watched the Baywatch trailer, and
You guys have all seen it. I mean, it looks
yeah,
like what it looks like.
It looks like Baywatch. It looks. I mean, I've seen it enough that I wasn't laughing at any of the jokes because I've seen, especially that trailer, enough that it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, and it wasn't like turning me off. It just
it's
like,
just
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, these jokes are no longer like like I just know the punchline.
Yeah, especially because I think that movie started doing its rounds when we kind of got really back into doing movies in theaters. And so it was like every time I went to the theater, and then other movies that like we would see for the podcast, but not. So it was like, seeing a movie almost every weekend, that trailer would come up. So it's like, oh yeah, I know the fucking Biggie Smalls song, and then all that shit. Yeah.
Dude, there's got to be at least one Sugar Ray song on that soundtrack.
Oh God,
you would hope. I mean, honestly, Zac Efron looks like
Mark McGrath.
Like,
wishes he looked like,
and it should be Fly.
His hairstyle, like his hair is like the exact. It's like they took Mark McGrath's hair and just put it on his head.
If they're if they're using a Sugar Ray song, it needs to be I Just Want to Fly. And I mean, as he like dives off that 4-wheeler.
I mean, I think that Charlie and I are the biggest Sugar Ray fans ever because we saw them VIP.
We did get the most expensive tickets you could get to see them on Ballpark
like
Village.
$20?
Yeah, they were like 35.
It was between 20 and 30, wasn't it? Was it 35?
Yes, I think.
I don't know.
I mean, if I would have had the time, I totally would have paid it.
It was pretty sweet. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
Movies.
So other than that, I mean, I guess Wonder Woman. You guys want to talk about Wonder Woman for a little bit? We've all three seen Wonder Woman.
Yeah, it was great. Anyway, no, I'm kidding.
So other than that, no. So yeah, I mean, I saw it. I saw a press screening. The Tuesday before it came out, we did a Facebook Live video. That's going to be more of a thing here in the future. So if there's a movie coming out, we'll tell you that we're going to be covering it. Like our Facebook pages, Three Wise Media and Movie Versus Podcast. That's where you can find us. So yeah, check and just clarify, when I say Movie Versus, that's movie VS, like not versus the word spelled out. So if you're searching for us and you're spelling that out, or you're trying to email us and you're spelling versus out, you're wrong.
Just be lazier.
Exactly. And so yeah, that's still up. We kept it up there. It was I saw it with my girlfriend Madeline. I know I mentioned her on the podcast before. She gives her perspective, which I thought was kind of cool because I mean, this is gonna sound dumb, but being a woman, seeing the first female led superhero movie, her opinion on it, and then so we talked about on our drive home, like initial reaction right away. You can check that out. Other than that, you guys have seen it since then.
Correct.
So I'll interject with stuff that I think of while you guys are talking about it. But I think if people want to hear just my opinion about stuff, they can see it. So Steve, what did you think of the movie?
I really liked it. I only had like two major gripes, and they occur at the end. And so for the sake of spoilers, I don't really want to get into them right now.
Yeah, we can talk about that off cast.
I have like two major gripes at the end, and then like this movie continues to perpetuate my love-hate relationship with like slow time action. And like I feel like if they just moved the frame back a little bit, we could just see it all and we wouldn't have to slow it down.
Yeah, I did mention that there was a lot of like 300 slowdowns.
But it only really happened in like the first half. And then like the second half,
I felt like it happened in almost every action scene at least once.
But not at the end. Like once after the
almost every single bullet shot, there was a slowdown to her blocking the bullet.
Well,
can't remember if they did that at the end.
Some of them she started going fast with them and stuff, but we bring it up on Three Wise and kind of go into talking about that because I think Garrett felt a similar way to you.
I just feel like some of the one, because it's not like even that these scenes were like in 300 for like some of those scenes there were lots of things going on and you couldn't really see it.
You can look at like a different thing each time almost, and somebody else getting stabbed here and somebody else getting stabbed there.
Yeah. but like in Wonder Woman, it was her doing like one kick or one thing to somebody, and it was like I don't feel it's necessary. If you just like gave us a wide enough shot to see the action, it would be way more enjoyable, because like even in that one scene in the middle, like after they get to the front, Like they do a couple of those slow action shots, but then they even do like those sped up shots, but they gave it with like a wide angle, and I thought that looked way better. And it was just, even though that was clearly CG.
Yeah, I think that, and that's kind of what I was saying, is that it felt like almost every time somebody started shooting at her or them, they would slow down the first bullet block. And then it would go back to normal.
We addressed that,
and
almost
that's
exactly.
yeah,
it's
and that
interesting that you bring that up.
That's kind of like what you were saying, Steve. It's like they use the slowdown a lot, but it's stuff it's like, okay, yeah, I know she can block bullets. Like, just I would have been that her walking to the front, if they had no slowdown of her just walking, just couldn't like putting up her gauntlets and blocking bullets.
Cool. Exactly,
that would have been like just as awesome. And then getting to that machine gun and putting down her shield and just fucking walking through that shit. Like
the only one I can understand doing it for the first one is because I guess she hasn't encountered them yet. Had she yet? So maybe it's like she doesn't.
Them,
that's maybe she doesn't know exactly like what she's going up. So the first one she realized like, okay.
Yeah. No, I understand. And the thing is, like, those slow-mo shots it's still like well shot, and it still looks good. Yeah, it's just like after a certain amount of times, it's like, okay, we get it. She can deflect
and they're not
bullets,
they're not these like crazy action tableaus. Like it's like one of them they slow down when she like kicks someo's ankle out. Like, come on, we know what kicking someone's ankle out.
And I think them
or just a gut punch.
I think her being Patty Jenkins, I think her overdoing the slow-mos on like the one specific thing, like the bullet shots, make those other action shots where she's just kicking, where Wonder Woman's just kicking out an ankle. You're like, okay, yeah, we get it. She's kicking out an ankle.
Right.
Like if there weren't so many,
if it wasn't overused, it wouldn't feel so bad.
Then it wouldn't. Yeah, if it was different each time, then it would be like, oh, okay, that's cool. And anyway, yeah.
The coolest fighting sequence was, and I mentioned this in the other cast, that when she's fighting in, it's Velm, right? VELM, the town, and she starts using the lasso, and that's almost all that's in full speed. It's
yes.
Like,
like
damn,
it's actually
some of
almost
those people are hella dead.
It's like CG, but it's almost like sped up.
It makes sense that they are. Yeah.
And I thought that looked good because they gave it a wide shot, and you could just see the impact of it all happening. I thought that looked really
maybe
good.
If we get a little bit of both, I guess, because I'm sure, because the slow-mo is the style, or like, not, I don't want to say trend, but it is a popular thing to do. Maybe if they only did wide-out ankle lenses, we'd eventually get burned out on that, too. So I'm sure it'll be something where it'll just eventually phase back over and, swing back.
Well, it got bad enough that Snyder couldn't do it in Man of Steel or Batman v Superman pretty much because he was, like, so known for those, like, slow-down action stuff. But, I mean, other than that, as far as directing goes, I thought Patty Jenkins fucking knocked it out of the park. Yeah. Like, this was... And then my, like, main praises will be... the directing was great, cinematography was great, and then fucking Gal Gadot, fucking amazing.
She was fantastic.
And Chris Pine, great. Their chemistry, top notch.
Yeah.
Like there was all of that together was what propelled this movie. And then Gal like being so, hey, no, I have to save humanity. Humanity is worth saving. Then kind of seeing this like war like stuff. No, this is what I'm here to do is save humanity.
And like getting disenfranchised.
Saving a town and then being like, this is not it. Like we still, and her getting like discouraged from it, but still being like, no, I still have to save. Like
that it's not that easy. Like
it's
more than one. Save it? Well, you just can't, right? Well,
it's like this. It's like the superhero ignorance that we haven't gotten yet.
Yeah.
And in almost any superhero movie where it's like, no, I'm just gonna save everybody. Why are you here? I thought that's what we were doing. And Chris Pine's like, no, we can't save everybody.
Yeah.
Like, and she's like, no, fuck you, I'm going to. And then she like realizes herself like, wait, and then no, they're right. Like I can't save everybody. Like what's...
And then also realizing that there's not one person that ends the war. Like it's like when she realizes that you can't just kill one person and it's done.
Yeah, exactly.
I definitely totally enjoyed it. I'm so excited that it's making a lot of money and people are really liking it. So I just want DC to go full barrel, like keep going and just do as much as you can. But then I guess I didn't really have many issues with the movie at all. I mentioned this. Sorry, I don't mean to keep saying I mentioned it over there. But we go into depth there. I was so happy that, and maybe you guys disagree with me, but not a single one of the Etta Candy jokes fell flat to me. Like I didn't laugh out loud at all of them.
She's always great.
Yeah.
She's always. The I don't remember her name. The girl who plays
That was
Etta.
just her character's name.
I know the girl who plays Etta.
Because she was
She's in Shaun of the Dead. She's in The Office.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying
she's always great.
I'm not saying specifically that actress, but just any. I mean, the most talented actress in the world could play that character. But that character could be so
super
bad,
cringy.
So easily.
I know
well, they didn't overuse her, and then honestly, like I mean,
they used her like a perfect amount.
She's kind of pudgy, but they never made that a joke.
Yes.
No, the one time,
nice.
the one time that it was funny to me, well, it was just a funny joke when they put the glasses on her, and she's like, "Oh, just pretend she's not like the most beautiful woman you've ever seen in your life."
Exactly. She says something like that, and then also earlier,
which is funny because I was thinking that, like, I was like, oh, so we're just gonna pretend that she's not a statuesque, like gorgeous human being,
a fucking Greek goddess.
and there's another comment where like Wonder Woman says something about like
the girdle,
and she's like, "I don't need to hide my tummy." She's like, says somebody that doesn't have a tummy.
yeah. Well, she's like, it hides our tummies, and she's like, why would you need to hide your tummies?
What I meant though is
like that.
She could have been with a shitty riding team or something.
Oh,
it could have easily been a Kat Denning situation.
Yeah, and
she
could have been she could have been overused.
So terrible.
She could have been overused. She could have been over. Like, just dumb jokes. Could have been jokes about stupid things, but she made obvious, like, the glasses thing was a fucking great joke.
Yeah, it was.
And also, I think this movie does this as well, because I think that joke was an homage to, like, Richard Donner's Superman.
Yeah.
And then they also do that alleyway scene that's in the trailers where she's blocking, like, they do a couple of those homages, and she's kind of, I know a lot of critics get on the whole tone of the DC universe, and I feel like this was still very somber because the setting, World War I, people dying, all this stuff, but they did a great job of bringing this hero in and making it not, like, depressing.
Which, I mean,
still,
Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, especially I just rewatched the one today, do have a good amount of hopeful moments in them, too.
I agree.
It's just I think some people are so used to seeing a lot of superhero movies where it's almost all, like, sunshine and rainbows.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like,
even
anything serious, it's like,
even,
oh my God.
Even the movie that a lot of people are going to compare this to, Captain America: The First Avenger, that is not as somber as this movie. It's a lot more hopeful.
Yeah.
And this movie's still hopeful, but it's more realistic in the term of like how that time period was.
Yeah.
And I would say the one joke that I absolutely fucking hated was the I'm bigger than most average or something like that. That shit was horrible. I was like, this is cringy, this is not funny, this is going on for too long, and
I don't remember if I said that on the. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Steve. After the cast, I thought that too. It was so long because I felt like he kept. Damn it, I didn't say it on the cast. He goes like, oh, like,
first
like
off,
pointing to his dick.
Yeah, and he's covering himself, but then he's like, oh wait, never mind, I'm not anymore because you're okay at looking at my dick.
I noticed that too. I did say over there though, it's like if he's like, oh, I'm bigger than most. I might have laughed if he would have been like, I'm definitely the biggest person on earth. And
if he really, because he knows that,
and you shouldn't look at any other ones
at that time
because it's not even worth it because I'm the best.
Exactly. Yeah, that would have been funny because if he would have realized like, oh, she does not have any frame of reference for man at all.
Well, did he realize that yet? Or did they talk about it?
He should have.
No, but they talk about it later when she breaks him out. I think she meant like.
I mean, if you have somebody come in and say, "What is that?"
No, but
like,
she was. But she was talking about his watch.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Fair enough.
Like that was a misconception.
I want to talk about something here real quick. I want to know if you guys noticed this. I thought it was fucking hilarious just because it was never like recognized or mentioned in the movie. So you know how when the Germans are going into Themyscira. And they have all the little mini boats and the big boat. Did you guys notice that fucking big boat was just tipping over and sinking in the background?
No.
Well-placed arrow.
Dude, it was just slowly tipping over. Every time they showed the little boats coming farther, the big boat was slowly tipping over the whole time. And then it just...
They could have solved that with like one cannon fire scene.
No, I'm assuming there's some deleted scene where they're like, oh shit,
or like Chris Pine drops a bomb on them again,
or like going through that little like portal thing is too much for the. I'm sure there's a deleted scene, but it was just funny to be like, wait, no, I was like, is that boat tipping over? And then the next shot, it's like no, it is, and then it was like almost completely sideways, and I was like, yeah, no, that boat's gone.
It's actually a Carnival cruise. Get at me, Carnival.
I think Salazar was driving that ship. Am I right? Straight into the Devil's Triangle.
Although
where now the sharks are cursed.
That's my Salazar impression.
It sounded just like him.
Although I didn't like the part where Chris Pine was like hitting on Dr. Morrow. Like I felt like that character.
I like that scene.
See, well, no, but I thought
fine.
I thought that character wouldn't respond to that.
She didn't really.
But she
kind of did.
She
but
was
then
right on the edge.
She was on the edge, but then she's so observational. She knows. She's like,
well,
oh,
no,
well,
yeah, but
that's
like
why I liked it when.
Well, no, that part I liked, but I thought it would have it would have been better if he tried to flirt with her and then realized that he was barking up the wrong tree and he had to like switch gears to like do something else.
I think he did by then. It's like talking more about appreciating her work and appreciating a similar thing that she appreciated. Not like, hey,
I would have
girl,
liked.
you fine or
I would have
something.
liked if her specifically.
You rocking that mask,
and then maybe the general were both developed a little bit more.
Yeah,
like her specifically. The general a little bit, but
Yeah.
she could have definitely done a little bit
her
more
for sure. Because the general's just a.
And there wasn't really. It was just kind of like, oh hey, she's there, and she has this thing on her face, and then later somebody says something about her being like she loves chemicals so much she burnt her face or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, oh okay. Like
I
mean,
definitely agree with that.
Other than that, I mean, yeah, like I said in the live video, it's not like I don't think it's genre changing or defining, but it is definitely a great movie. And then I'm also excited if this is and this is coming from somebody that, I mean, we've said on this podcast, Charlie and I both love BVS.
Yeah.
But if this is the climate of the Jeff Johns era of the DC Cinematic Universe,
sure.
then yes, please.
Yeah.
Like if this is what we're getting, this kind of movie, then continue,
Plus,
please.
the one takeaway that I have is I hope people will then look fondly. I know it's a high hope.
We've talked about it in the past. I know what you're going to say.
With the Zack Snyder doing the story.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it in the past already.
Like, oh shit!
I mean,
Well,
already
maybe.
Man of Steel people will go back on and be like, oh hey, it's not as bad as I remember.
Yeah.
And then we've already talked about that people will go back on BVS and be like, oh wait, I'm watching this the second time after because I mean, regardless of what people say. I mean, Rotten Tomatoes is going to skew everybody's thoughts.
Yeah.
They're going to go into that movie, at 23%. This is going to be shit. And then they're going to bash on it the whole time. Any, like, small thing that might be kind of weird or kind of, like, stupid, they're going to just focus on it. Yeah. And so it's like, I mean, people are going to go back on it, and they're going to be like, oh, hey, this isn't as bad as I remember. And I'm not saying it's, 100% like score worthy, but it's not fucking 23%.
Fuck no.
And I think people will look on it in the past and be like, hey, this movie's actually pretty good. Like, it's not bad.
Like my friend actually said the other, like he's been fairly critical of BVS.
Yeah,
like,
which
and
I mean, it has its flaws.
But he said he
it's
went
just usually not the ones people talk about.
Yeah, but
I agree.
But he said he went to IMDb and saw that it had like a 6.8, and he was like, that seems low. Like he wasn't,
Oh wow, really?
Like so he's very critical of it and would still put it at probably in like the 70 something.
And I think
or 7.3.
The reason people are critical of it are, and like you said, they don't point out the things that are actually wrong with it. Like people will point out, it's the same thing with Suicide Squad. There's a whole lot wrong with Suicide Squad in my mind, but people always go straight to the Joker, and it's like, yeah, I mean, some of the parts I didn't like, but are you just comparing him to Heath Ledger?
Yeah.
Which is, if you're going comic book accuracy, is a terrible Joker. Yeah. Like, I mean, he does great in the role, but if you're looking, even that Batman, like, those aren't the comic books. Like, that's not how, and it's like, it's just a different version of the character. Like, why? And then people will do that with, like, Lex Luthor. They're like, this isn't the Lex Luthor I saw in the cartoon show that I liked when I was a kid.
This isn't Gene Hackman.
Yeah, and it's like, well, no, it's a different version of this character. Why can't you just accept that? I mean, we've already accepted, and then obviously, this is always comparing to Marvel, but whatever. I mean, people accept it with Marvel characters. Like, a lot of those characters were not like how they are portrayed in the movies.
Hey, I'm the Mandarin.
Yeah, that movie has like...
I don't think you should use that one as the comparison for Marvel.
No, I mean, that has like a 70-something% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, really? Does it?
Yes.
Oh. Because that's the one, like, Iron Man 3, everyone I know, like, pretty much dislikes that movie greatly.
Yeah, I mean, it's still...
So, like
it's praised, though, when it came out.
It surprises me that you say that just because, like, I would have thought it would have been like 10%.
There's a lot of other characters. I mean, I don't know if Iron Man was how Robert Downey Jr. portrays him in Iron Man. They made Iron Man like that because he owned the role. Yeah. I think they changed him into that kind of character, but he wasn't some like douchebag. Like I'm obviously not 100% sure. The Guardians of the Galaxy weren't even Star-Lord, Rocket Raccoon, Groot, and Gamora and Drax, like 5 years before that movie came out.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. It's like, I mean, people just kind of accept it with one side, but then like, I don't know. I guess a lot of people say the argument is, oh, these characters are more beloved. But I don't know.
I think, which skews the results because they get a pass. Then,
I think there's just more...
Exactly.
I think there's just more, like, known stuff about, like, DC.
Well, that's what I was saying. People say that Batman, Superman and Batman are more beloved than
I wouldn't say more beloved, but, like, they're at least more well-known because there's a lot more cartoon. And I think that's the big one, is there's a lot more cartoon ground. And that's what people know and grow up with.
Yeah.
And also the main problem is nostalgia. People around our age group are just fucking obsessed with nostalgia and their childhood for whatever reason. And so if like things are not exactly if things are.
But you're a '90s kid, so you remember that.
I mean, I'm a '90s kid, so I understand. If things are not done,
don't tell me how to live my life, Tyler.
If things are not done exactly how they were, then like people in our age demographic are like, well, this is fucking dumb. It's like DuckTales is being redone. And everybody was like, sweet, DuckTales. But then they're also like, oh, the animation doesn't look exactly how it was. Oh, this is going to be dumb. Or like, there's another one that's being redone. They're like, if they do it right, it'll be good. It's like, you're not the target demographic. Like, this is for children now.
And you can say that about anything.
Yeah.
Correct.
If they do it right.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be good.
But it's like people think like, oh, well, Lex Luthor is this character from the Superman cartoon that I watched as a kid. And it's like, no, I mean, that's not how Lex Luthor was originally in the comics prior. Like, that's just Lex Luthor in that show who was also as buff as Superman.
He was jacked.
Almost everybody's pretty yoked in that show.
Yeah, I know. It's like, no.
Except for Jimmy Olsen.
It's like, and then we got a lot of these people, and I know this is going to sound elitist, but you get a lot of people that say that they know how these characters should be because of them watching these shows or doing that stuff in their childhood. It's like, I mean, yeah, but these filmmakers
you can't just do the exact same thing every single time.
And these filmmakers are going off of decades and decades of comic books, not just the show you watched when you were a child. Like,
not to bring it back, but I was gonna mention my critique of Wonder Woman, but I don't think I can too easily without spoilers and stuff.
That's fine.
So if you want to hear it, listen to the mini review, but I'm sure we'll talk about it as soon as the mics go off.
Yes.
Yeah, we will. And then other than that, I saw Alien Covenant, and I would say that it's the third best Alien movie. But I think, Steve, you covered it. It's kind of dumb that David is the one who creates the xenomorphs. And there's also a scene, I don't think you brought it up, Steve. There's a scene where David interacts with a kind of like a...
I've been hearing them referred to as neomorphs.
I was going to say a prototype xenomorphs. Neomorph is better. So a neomorph, where the neomorph and him kind of like stand, like they're looking at each other, and the neomorph's looking like, I'm going to fucking kill you. And then he like blows on his face, and he compares him to a horse. How if you blow on a horse's nose, then the horse will like obey you. And there's this weird scene where the neomorph like almost kind of recognizes David and is like, yeah, I'm doing your bidding. And I was telling Steve, that kind of made the xenomorphs a lot less scary to me. It's like, oh, so now they're just doing a bidding of a person.
They're trained.
Yeah, they're not going off of just, hey, I'm going to kill everything. Which, because then he creates
that is what they do.
He creates the first xenomorph, which makes no sense, because then all of a sudden
there's a pile of eggs with no queen.
There's just a pile of eggs that have facehuggers in them,
and it fucking destroys AVP.
Yeah, it does.
Is a bummer.
But I mean, it makes no sense that those eggs exist at all.
Completely.
But then the xenomorph gets created and doesn't kill David, just goes on and does his own thing. But other than that, like, kind of weird thing, the movie was really good in the fact that Ridley Scott still does a good job of building tension There's, I mean, the first scene with the neomorph when with the pores, where the one lady gets back to the ship and she gets that whole like scene was just fucking great. Like it was super tense and it was so good, and everybody like that was like a return to form in this kind of direction that Ridley Scott had the series originally. But also, I said to Steve off cast that evolutionary wise, it doesn't make sense to me that you would go from infecting somebody via a pore through any type of orifice to a creature that's in an egg that comes out and
then rapes your mouth.
Yeah, it's like, how is that evolving?
Because they were having a real big problem with oscillating things.
Well, and also those things through the pores, those things created real quick.
Yes, they did.
Way quicker than any face hugger in any past movie.
Right.
Like they were before they got back to the ship with one of the guys.
But they were
popping out of his back.
We don't know exactly how far away what kind of hike they had.
Fair enough.
I will say that.
I'll give them that. Yep.
Hey, a question that. In the trailer, there's that one big ass xenomorph that's like on the ship. Is that a queen?
You noticed his ass,
or is that?
That's the first xenomorph.
Is it just massive, or is that ship just not as big as it looks?
Because
in the trailer, it looks like it's like 20 times the size of a normal.
I don't
xenomorph.
think it's.
I don't think
the xenomorph's as big as you think.
Maybe it's an angle. Maybe it's an angle. Maybe it's an angle because I think he actually looks skinnier than a normal xenomorph to me.
But he looked to be probably because when he's standing up when they do that shower scene, it's probably like
which was probably one of the better scenes like as far as kills go.
Yeah,
like it was pretty fucking dope. And the movie's been out for a while. Do you care if I spoil the kill, Charlie? I mean, you're the only one that I would care. I don't care about the listeners.
I mean, I was planning on seeing it pretty soon.
Okay, then I won't.
Do you think it's worth it or not?
Yeah, it's worth it. You should see it. But yeah, it's a normal size xenomorph. I think the ship is not it's not like a carrier. It's one of the just like ground ships that they take to the planet.
Window on the front is small.
Yes,
so when
I think
saw
it's because
thing,
it comes like this.
It's like, holy fuck, this thing looks huge.
Yeah.
But
and it's because it goes like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. At a point for the listeners, I was doing it's getting real dark in here. We should turn on a light or in the podcast.
Yeah, sure.
Before stuff we actually like.
No, yeah, we'll do stuff we actually like. So, Steve, what is something that you actually like?
So, with some guys from school, I've been playing a lot of Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Really? I never got into that. That's the MMO, isn't it? The massively multiplayer online.
It's free, but it's pretty terrible.
It's free now.
It's been free for a while, but it's basically like a freemium game. Yeah. Because it really you get just screwed over if you don't subscribe.
So like, is it something that even if like say you and your buddies all went in at level 1, so you had a group that was all new, you would still get screwed over if you didn't pay? If
you didn't, because like what they do is like you played a little bit of World of Warcraft, right?
Yeah, I played WoW for a while, and that's something that even if you're like level 1, it's still kind of hard to get groups. But
they screw you in ways that are not like that. Like they hinder your inventory. Like you're not allowed to use the bank if you don't subscribe.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that
like
sounds
you
ridiculous.
only
I don't even play those games. I know that's like what the fuck.
You only get 2 skill bars if you don't pay. Like you can't unlock more skill bars to put more abilities.
Out of how many?
You start with 2, but you can get up to 6. And like in the beginning, it's not that big a deal, but eventually you will have more abilities than you have slots to use.
Yeah.
So that's just the worst. And then like if you pay, like you start off with you don't have to level up to get speeder bike training. Like so you pretty much like are able to buy them out, but like you can't even buy them out for a while anyway. Yeah. So that doesn't really matter. But it basically just makes the game. Oh, you can't do like any crafting if you don't pay. Like
so you can walk around with a lightsaber.
Yeah,
that you found.
Hopefully, if you found a good one. So like it really.
I wish I could just find a lightsaber.
Like you can't. So it just makes the game just not enjoyable. And not only that, like the problem is that the one thing that I do dislike about the game is that it takes a little too long to get to a point where it feels like you're using skills. Like for a very long time early on in the game, it's just more efficient to just AoE stuff down. You just like run up and do one skill over and over and again.
Yeah.
It takes a little while to get to that point where you're like, okay, I want to use this, and then because I use that, I should use this because that made that better. Sort of
Sounds like you really like this thing.
No. I'm saying that's the problem when you're not paying.
Oh.
Like now that I'm paying, like I've moved on, and like once you get a little bit through the storyline, that's when it like really opens up the gameplay.
And is it a monthly payment? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Things you like are money.
So like it is fun once you get into that. It just takes a little while to get rolling.
I gotcha. So Knights of the Old Republic, which is pretty old. You remember that other Star Wars game where you could like dance as a Wookiee, and it was like
it's just Star Wars: The Old Republic, and you're thinking of that like
it was another MMO, Star Wars MMO. It was like Galactic Empire, Galaxies, Star Wars Galaxies. Yeah, it was Galaxies. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you could dance as a Wookiee, and then all Wookiees would just be dancing.
I thought you were talking about that Kinect game.
No, nobody ever talks about that Kinect game, and they shouldn't. Charlie, I had that Xbox though, the RTD2 Xbox, and it was actually kind of cool. It was like I mean, well, no, that's not an RTD2 noise. But, like, yeah, it made R2-D2 noises when you turn it on and, like, all that shit. And then
if you just sand down your GameCube, you can make a BB-8 console.
What am I going to put on the head? As the head?
I don't know.
Okay, that's my problem.
Yeah.
A circular rock.
Okay, so Charlie, what is something that you actually like?
Well, I realized I did kind of fuck this up. I was going to say something that I actually like is that people would have an opportunity to see us if all three of us are going to be going to that concert this week. But it will have already happened once this show is released.
What concert?
The Coolio concert.
Oh, yeah, the pageant.
Yeah.
That's right.
So,
right.
Man, that show was really
super good.
As a band that I had never heard anything from before,
they sure did play music.
Played music. Yeah, that's exactly what
I found out that I knew a couple of their songs. Like I had heard them on the radio, and I just didn't know that was that band.
The only thing is that their name is similar to a Pokemon. That's
Keldeo.
And an Iron Rich Leaf that is pretty good sometimes.
I've never heard any of their music, and then Charlie, you won two sets of tickets.
No, I've won once. Well, okay. So I've won one set of tickets, and then they canceled the show the day of due to a family emergency, but they added another one on at the end of their tour to make up for it.
Oh, okay.
But then I didn't think I was going to win another set, so I went ahead and bought a set, and then when the store like tossed up like, hey, we're doing another contest for Coolio again, I'm like, all right, well, can I just win this one, please? Because I won the last one, but they canceled the show, and they were cool enough to be like, oh yeah, that's fine. I mean,
that's kind of cool. I thought you like legitimately won twice. No, damn.
So he's got two sets of tickets, and I was like, well, I've never heard of that band before ever, so I'm not going to listen to them until the concert.
Maybe we'll post something, say if people want to, if they see us there. Don't be so starstruck.
Yeah, maybe.
The majority of our listeners know us personally.
Yes, we are. We are that Tyler and Charlie.
and Steve. Jesus Christ.
Dude, they don't have to
Are you going?
ask.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's why I said that it's a movie
Casey,
versus
so we'll be like, yes, we
with
are.
With our artist, Scott.
We'll be like, yes, we are that movie versus.
Not the other ones.
That is us. Calm down. Stop kissing my feet.
What we get?
Wash them, you peasant.
we get
with your saliva.
We get brought up on stage and take over the show because we are more famous than the band.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be great. We had to improv to a live show. I don't know. I guess I got some comedy routines. So dude, what's the deal?
They're famous enough that one of their songs was in the second Logan trailer. So that would mean if we're more famous than them, like the next Justice League trailer has to have us be like, fucking Buckethead's got a shit on his head while the movie trailer's gone. We're super famous.
So what you actually like is us being famous?
I was gonna say it was good. It was things that I like are having a movie versus outing.
Oh, okay.
With the three of us and Scott.
Yeah, our graphic designer.
But since this will have already happened, hopefully, I'm gonna go
Who
with
knows,
Jedi
the
Knight.
world could end.
I'm gonna go with, since he said a Star Wars video game, Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. I always love playing that game. Still has the best lightsaber physics of
Jedi
any.
Outcast is good too.
Yeah.
I only played Academy, but that old game still has the best lightsaber physics out of any fucking Star Wars game.
Outcast is still considered like one of the greatest games.
Shadow
ever.
of the Empire, the Shadow of the Empire series is amazing.
Because you can just cut off actual limbs, like where you swing.
I have all of them.
Why can they not still do that?
I don't know, because fuck you.
Jedi Knight 2 Outcast is like...
It is Shadow of the Empire, isn't it?
I don't know.
The first one, and then it's like Shadow of the Empire 2, and then it goes off... Because it's all Kyle Katarn. or Catan.
Catan really isn't in too much of Jedi Knight,
Chris
Jedi
Catan?
Academy, Qatar, or whatever. Yeah.
Such as Mango.
Yeah, you're right. Fuck, then it'd be the greatest game of all time.
You guys
I
want
am Mango.
You Jedis want some cookies?
And his force ability is he
Wow,
levitates
Corky Romano.
he levitates an apple and he eats it really quickly and then spits it out. Like Anakin with that fruit in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, exactly. So what I really like is also a video game. Steve, you walked in on me playing. I've been
Battlefront 2.
I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy.
Battlefront
10.
2 is awesome.
I know.
It really is.
I'm not joking.
I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 10 lately, and I dug that one out of the old
The old Steam folder.
Yeah, but it's still an old game,
Yeah.
It's and I've played through like a decent amount, and then I like stopped, and then just
So
recently.
how much Blitzball have you played so far?
I played the one game because fuck Blitzball. I played all that I had to play.
Not nearly as good as Griffball.
I was like charting the tracking records when I was
it's
playing.
awful.
Like,
It's awful. And this time, because I remember
How
that.
to play video games. I wish you could see Steve now.
Well, yeah, and he also had a whiteboard, like one of those see-through whiteboards where he was writing all the charts. Apparently,
of this season.
or he's
of
writing,
Blitzball.
or he's writing them on his monitor or TV. But no, it's
shit.
Blitzball is fucking ass, dude. I like because this time,
Nice.
this time I was actually like, okay, no, I'm going to, because I remember the first time I played through it when it first came out, I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. So this time I was like, I'm gonna learn like how to play this shit. Like I'm gonna actually pay attention to every single
wait until
tutorial.
You can recruit brother.
Yeah, listen to every tutorial, do all this stuff. Then played my first game, and like the other team was so overpowered. Like they were already 10 times better than me. And it's like, what do I do? I can't do. And so it's like you automatically lose the first tournament thing. You have to play 2 games. I think I think you have to play 2 games, like in the game for the story. And it's like this weird. You don't know what Blitzball is, probably. It's like this weird, like underwater.
It's like weird underwater lacrosse
/ like football rugby thing. Like it's. Like basketball too.
Sounds
I
like
don't
what
know.
I've always wanted to do in a video game.
And it's so weird. And there's these like rules of like, oh, I'm going against this guy and he has more attack than me, so I should do this. But his thing is I don't know. It's weird and it's dumb. Like I'm sure if I really fucking sunk into it and because every save spot says like play Blitzball, and I'm like, no, thank you. But no, that game is great. It's probably one of my favorite Final Fantasy games, other than the whole unskippable cutscene thing that Steve and you talked about earlier. There's some really like cringy dialogue, and then also some cutscenes are just real long, and then there are bits in the game where it's like you just walk to another cutscene.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, oh, cutscene ended, walk out of this area, and then it's like a hallway to another area where another cutscene begins. And it's
Yeah,
like,
that
okay,
does. That
Jesus
does suck.
Christ, like, what the fuck?
What you should do is you
That's
should
just
play.
like a tease.
You
Like,
should,
all right, I can finally move again.
you
huh?
should play the ROM hack of it where all audio is replaced with the Titus laugh.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen that, Charlie. If you haven't, we'll show you it. Where
know.
It's like
the
all
main characters.
music. It's,
Like it's,
yeah, no. But in this
I
version,
do want to see it though again.
yeah, we'll pull
in this
it up
version,
afterwards.
all sound effects and all music and all dialogue is replaced. With
Oh
that.
my god, that's awful.
I do love when people do that with like Tim Allen's face or anything. I mean, it's always funny.
No, just Tim Allen's face. You only love it when people do it with Tim Allen's face.
yeah.
All sound effects are replaced with Tim Allen's face.
But before we go, I did want to bring up this one thing.
Well, no, I was gonna let me finish up on
Okay,
Final Fantasy
sorry.
X. But this is one of the few.
You
I
won't
don't.
believe what's next.
I don't like the level grind in a lot of RPGs, which is weird because I feel like that's kind of the thing in a lot of RPGs is the level grind. But in this game, it's got turn-based on. I like the combat because you can just switch in and out characters.
The
it's
switching does
really,
feel real fluid.
Yeah, and it's really cool, and it's 100% turn-based in the fact that like Final Fantasy 7 or 9. I don't know about 8 because I haven't played it in forever.
They had,
That's
timing gauges.
Yeah, it's timing gauges. So like the enemy can go whenever his gauge is full, whether or not you decided to go.
Yeah.
But this game, it actually shows you a chart of like, oh, this person's neck, this person's neck, then the boss attacks, then this enemy attacks, like stuff like that. And you can switch in and out characters, and it doesn't cost you anything, and it can be pretty like strategic. But what I'm getting at is the level system in this game. It's called the sphere grid, which I know, Steve, you know about. Charlie, it's this kind of, imagine in most games you level up and then you get a certain amount of boosts to whatever. In this game, you get this, you level up in quotes, but you can just move on this grid, and on this grid has things that can unlock different. 200 plus HP, 2 strength, a new ability, like, and you have to have a certain like unlocking sphere to unlock certain spheres in the grid. So it's like you move across this grid and you can unlock these abilities if you have the sphere to unlock them as you move across. And then I think there's a way to play it where you can just do it randomly too, where you can start wherever you want on the grid. And then there's also a way to play it where it's like, no, this character is supposed to go along.
The thing is like the grid, like every character shares the same grid. It's just characters start at different places on the grid.
Gotcha.
So if you were
If
you
you like
play long enough, everyone would get pretty much everything.
And there's a character, a specific character too, that is kind of like he can go anywhere. Like he starts in his spot, but then you can have him go into this character.
Tim Allen character.
Yeah. I mean, his face has been replaced with Tim Allen in the version I bought on Steam. But but yeah, no, it's one big grid that, like Steve said, characters can overlap. Like everybody can learn everything, pretty much. Like there really isn't any holding back from everybody learning everything. So it's a really cool system, and it's fun to like go through for some reason. So it's like I'm fine with grinding because I'm like, ooh, I can move more on the sphere grid. Like I can do this. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with that again, and yeah, that's what I actually like. So Steve, what is that thing you wanted to bring up that I said no? I want to talk more about.
No, it's fine. 10. I don't know if you guys. I'm hoping that you guys didn't see this. So in his new fantastic show, Kevin Can Wait, Kevin James's wife
was replaced with Tim Allen.
Oh, fuck.
Was replaced with Leah Remini.
I knew she was going to be in the episode, but she's actually fully replaced now.
Leah Remini was a guest star as like a female cop, but they've canceled the contract with the woman playing his wife, and they're going to increase time, like screen time, with Leah Remini. She's going to now be a consistent character on the show.
How do they like explain?
I have no idea.
Or did the season end or something?
The season ended, but her contract was not renewed for season 2.
Almost worth watching.
And so the wife's not going to be on anymore, but this girl is going to be?
Correct.
That is crazy.
I mean, people love King of Queens.
And in one fell swoop, they've restarted King of Queens without Jerry Stiller.
Hey, maybe Tim Allen can find a way in too because he doesn't have a job anymore apparently.
True.
No. Actually, I think
he's too real.
Toy Story 4, I guess.
I actually heard that might be getting picked up by a different channel.
Really? What's the name of it again?
Last Man Standing.
Last Man Standing. That's right. Yeah. I don't know if anybody really gives a shit. I think
it's
even
Tool
people.
Time too.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think even people that like watched that show don't really give a shit about that show.
You'd be surprised.
I would be. I think people only give a shit about it because because I think Tim Allen made a scene about it. I don't think there would have been an outcry
he
if
did
it
this
just
whole
like
thing on Wendy Williams, and
and then on Montel.
I would not want Wendy Williams' army against us.
But yeah, I
hope she listens.
I think that if it just got canceled and like nobody said shit, people would be like, "Oh man, this is not on anymore." Okay, but
I was shocked to hear that it was already 6 seasons in.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I didn't realize
started that long ago.
I know, because I feel like I just saw ads for it on Hulu or something. Like less than a year
I feel like
ago.
It's been like
wow, this is a new
I would have
Tim Allen
if you would have said 3 or 4 seasons, I wouldn't have been shocked.
I'm almost positive
6
it was 6
seasons.
Yeah, that's why he was kind of shocked because after 6, it was like out of nowhere.
Well, and apparently it's doing well. Like it was doing well. Like it had better ratings than a lot of shows.
Thanks, Obama.
But I think what happened was they claim ABC claimed that his like the way it was like an independently owned show.
Freeform or ABC?
ABC. I think it's
what's
ABC.
the point?
I thought it was
no.
Freeform.
It's CW because it's CW because I saw all those commercials when I would watch like The Flash.
Oh, gotcha.
So it was on the CW, and apparently CW didn't own the rights, so they had to it was up for contract negotiations on how much they were gonna have to pay for an episode or whatever.
Tim Allen would probably, not joking, but he probably would be pretty expensive for a show like that. And there's nobody else at name brand on there.
So there was a lot of
he was the Santa Claus.
Yeah. So there was a lot of disputes about how much they were gonna have to pay for each episode and him and all that stuff. So the official position is one, they're retooling Friday night for sci-fi action.
Tooling.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Retool time. And the fact that his contract was up were the reason, the official position. But then there have been a lot of things about some of the stuff that he's talked about on the show.
It'll probably go somewhere. Fucking Crackle or some shit.
Yeah, I've heard some online service might be doing it or something like that. I've heard that some station is interested.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just throw Jungle to Jungle to the wayside.
You cannot, because did you just look up Tim Allen?
I had to look up the title. I knew the movie. I had to look up the title.
Starring him, Martin Short, Lee Sobieski.
Is Jerry Stiller still alive?
I think. I feel like we would have known if he was dead.
I was just gonna say, if they somehow get him in there,
Jerry Stiller
dude, that would be so fucking funny to bring a TV show all the way back under a different name with all the same actors and different characters.
Yeah.
That would make me probably want to start watching it. That would be funny.
But then you'd also have to watch King of Queens
I'm familiar with it still.
No, just start watching it and see if it matches up. They start bringing back scripts.
They just redo the entire show.
Lou Ferrigno shows up.
I've seen episodes of that show before that have made me laugh. It's just man, I could also flip the channel and be on Seinfeld. And then I just watch that instead.
You guys remember Wild America?
Is that a show or a movie?
Movie with Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
No.
Yes, actually.
Okay, good. I was going to say, because I used to watch it a lot as a kid.
JTT?
Oh, yeah, JTT. It's got Devin Sawa and Scott Bairstow.
Oh, I love Scott Bairstow.
Those are names that I totally remember.
No, I remember it because just JTT and Devin Sawa were a big thing back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I heard of the one guy.
Devin Sawa was in Final Destination and Slackers.
Okay, I think I know who that is.
Devin Sawa was also in Idle Hands.
He was.
Then I know exactly who he is.
Yeah, and he was in Extreme Ops.
That I did not know.
Those are we just named his 4 most known 4 movies on IMDb.
Extreme Ops
was one of them, yes.
Extreme
and Idle Hands and the Final Destination, and then whatever else I said.
You gotta infiltrate this island.
Yeah.
The only way in is surfing.
But in order to make it into the secret hideout, you have to do a method at the right time off of this ramp. And you have to land it just right.
The trickiest part is we can't call it Point Break.
Other than that, we've all said things that we like. We talked about stuff. Movies. I'm seeing King Arthur. Charlie is seeing either The Mummy or Contingency Baywatch. Is that it? Is that everything?
I think that's all we got.
So thanks to Scott Blackwell for the old graphic.
Who we will have seen a show with
last
night as this comes out.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and then
stop saying that.
And then let's say, hey, who knows? A meteor could hit. And
in which case this wouldn't get posted.
I mean, we'll see the show if things don't go according to plan.
Okay.
Other than that, check out Charlie on the old 3 Wise Radio, which should already be out by this time because I think they come out on today.
The review will be out on Saturday, but
okay, never mind.
The Wonder Woman episode.
But you're on both.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Wonder Woman episode and then the spoiler review.
Yeah.
Which would be on Saturday, and then the Wonder Woman episode should be on Tuesday, so that should already be out. And then, so thanks to them for having the old network. Shout out to old Good, Better, Bad, Bad. Check them out. great YouTube channel, talk about movies as well. They just did a new Neil Breen movie.
Oh my god! How many Neil Breen movies have they done?
It's either the third or fourth, and I Double Down is the name of this movie.
How many has he done?
Too many. He's getting funding for his fifth, maybe. And
How?
And this one it's a really good one. It's just as good as there's a scene where Neil Breen's just like driving, eating a can of tuna, and like the tuna's like
the
falling.
Perfect car food.
And he says how like he doesn't need much. He just eats tuna and sleeps in his car now. I don't know.
That car probably smells terrible.
Well, yeah, he opens up the trunk and there's just cans of tuna.
Oh, Jesus.
Opened or closed?
I don't remember. I don't think it matters.
Open would be so much worse.
I don't know if they've all just been sitting in his trunk.
That's still a sealed can. That shit lasts like forever.
Yeah, but like
True.
but like one half is the new ones, the other half is the empties.
And then also Behind the Blast Doors, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, Joe's friends.
Yeah, no, friend of the network. Friend of the network. Friend of the network. It's another YouTube channel where he does a lot of. I've watched a couple other videos since Joe mentioned him on the last episode. A lot of like reviews of the comics that are coming out recently, and then also a more visual podcast where kind of in the vein of Good, Better, Bad, but not as many like edits to video. It's just like a video of him on a podcast.
Gotcha.
With some like images and stuff on the sides and things like that. So go check out that. It's great. They also have t-shirts. I don't have the link on hand that I'll just throw up. Maybe I'll put it in the description. I don't know. You can buy their shirts. But yeah, other than that, you can check us all out on Facebook. That's from Three Wise to Good, Better, Bad to Behind the Blast Doors to us. We're at Movie Versus Podcast, and you can find us on Twitter, Gmail, Facebook. We're on YouTube under the Three Wise Media YouTube channel. And yeah, other than that, I think we've pretty much covered the whole fucking... Yeah, so bye.
Movie Versus is a production of Three Wise Media. For more information, check us out on Facebook.